season and some great numbers there. Look at all those asterisks. Career highs for you, Pavel Zacha. Thanks for being on the show as you get ready for the debut tomorrow against the Chicago Blackhawks. Have you had a chance to just reflect on your season, last season, a big one for you, disappointing end for the team, but for you personally, what are your thoughts about it now that it's all settled and you're on to a new one?
Yeah, no, I think you just look at it right away after a season. I know it was disappointing with the playoffs. That's something you think about right away, and then I went home and kind of reflected on my season, and we had a really good team. I got the chance to play with great players there, and that's when you see the numbers, it's all what you do as a line, how you work. I got a chance to play power play and stuff like that, so I was put in opportunities to take advantage of them, and that's kind of I was happy about being in Boston, getting the chance, and trying to show people that what kind of player I was before I was traded here, and get better with my game.
How about everything that has happened for you, to you, in the last not even 18 months, maybe 16 months or so? When you think about it, we were talking off air before we got on about little thing like getting married. I mean, you get traded, you have a great start, you sign a new contract, you get married. I mean, it's been a hectic, but I can't imagine it's been nothing short of spectacular 14 to 16 months for you.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of those years that I'm going to remember probably for a while. Being traded to Boston, where my wife's from, and we kind of started living here full time now, not only the summers, and then you get a chance to meet players like Patrice Bergeron, Marchand, Pasta, Kretsch, these guys that you grew up watching and stuff, and being able to play with them, and then having great regular season. I think it's something that you dream about as a player, to get those opportunities, and in personal life too. It was a great year. So I'm just excited to get the next season started.
How have you changed as a player as you reflect back, not living in last year, but how do you know that you've changed as a player? Getting to meet the Bergerons, the Marchands, et cetera, being a Boston Bruin now, how has that changed you as a player?
I think it gave me a little bit more confidence with the play time, and to show myself that I can be a player who I can be, and just working on other things, and mentally just being ready. Being here my second year also in training camp, coming in, knowing all the players, knowing everyone, and just watching those two guys, especially starting on center this season, watching those two guys, the two-way game. That's something that it's really hard to learn and see, and then you see it every day on practice and everywhere with Krejci and Bergeron, and just kind of learn where they are positionally, and O-zone and D-zone, and just being able to play with them the whole year and talk to them in the locker room about face-offs and everything like that was great help for me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, you mentioned those two guys that, of course, aren't back in the locker room or on the ice this season. So is that going to be an adjustment for you? Have you already thought about, obviously on the ice there's going to be adjustments, but in the room as well, have you already thought about, where your leadership stands, or who you're going to lean on with those guys gone?
Yeah, I think everyone knows it's a loss for us, having them here for such a long time. But I think we have a great group of leaders with Brad Marchand and Charlie Coyle, McAvoy, Pasta, these guys who've been around those guys for a while too. And I think, also me being around them last year, I'm going to try to do my, best to also step up. And I'm, a guy who was kind of Kretsch in the locker room. I'm trying to, lead by example and doing that. And with that time, I think when you show on the ice, then, you get more and more respect in the locker room and talk-wise and stuff. So, but I think, with the guys being around, even, Zdeno Chara and these guys still who are in the locker room, I think they know the leadership, and Brad, named captain, it's huge for us, and I think we're all excited just to start the season.
Yeah.
You mentioned face-offs a moment ago, and we've talked on this very set about the importance of them. The team's been spoiled having a couple of guys that are really good. You took the fewest amount of face-offs, I don't know if you realize this, that you ever have in your career so far last season. Now, you played a lot of left wing, so that makes sense. But your previous 2 years in New Jersey, you were a little over 50% in each of those seasons. What do you want? What have you tried to work on, or what do you know that you want to do a little bit more this year, besides taking more face-offs, to get better at them?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more timing-wise. I need to get better with the repetition, and we've been working on in practice and stuff on face-offs, and watching some videos. And when I was playing before playoffs, I was talking to Bergie a lot, even when he wasn't playing, about the timing, especially against righties. For me, it's a little bit adjustment, but I think that's such a big important part of the game, especially if you want to play on power play and start the face-off starting in offensive zone for a power play. It's huge, and that's something if you want to play, you know, the top minutes you have to get better at. And I know they've been spoiled for a while with that, but I think, you know, me, Charlie Coyle, we have to, you know, step up the game with that and show that, you know, we can be above 50% and higher than that.
You're being a great subject here because your answers are leading perfectly
to what you're
the
gonna ask
next
now.
question. Yeah, so thank you, Pavel. Thank you. You brought up wanting to be on the power play. We know that you're on one of the units here, but it's also been already discussed, written about, etc. You're in the bumper spot. You're in that middle spot. How comfortable are you? Are you more comfortable now than you were a couple of weeks ago when you first started there? What are you looking to accomplish there?
Yeah, I think I played even in Jersey a little bit on a bumper, and I think that's kind of the position that, you know, I can be used a lot. I think I'm pretty good at helping the guys in battles and kind of staying in a position where I need to be. I think it's going to take a little bit load off Pasta when he can, you know, bump into me to the middle. They can kind of, you know, he's going to have a couple more options there, you know, seam for Marshy to me for one-timer. So, you know, it's a little bit adjustment for them too. They played with a righty center for a while. So, you know, just getting the repetition there in practice and in games. And I think, you know, I just have to do my best to you know, start with the face-offs and go from there.
All right, we've got plenty more to come with Pavel Zacha. After the break from Warrior Ice Arena, we continue our discussion ahead of the home opener tomorrow. We'll be right back.